Oh, hello there, Chris. Thanks for coming on my podcast. I'm
Right on. Thanks for inviting me. I'm pretty stoked. This is kind of one of my favorite discussion topics, and I'm doing
You
hard
look so
things.
professional, I gotta tell you. Look at you with your background, your flag, your
Oh,
setup.
it's all my executive
Oh,
coaching setup. This is where I spend quite a bit of my days.
do you?
Right.
You mean you're not out in the wilderness, like biking, hiking, back?
As much as I can be, but it is only a piece of my coaching.
Because let me tell you, when I spent your birthday with you, that was a working day for me. That was like 9 hours. Oh, I have to tell you,
Right on. And you did get like a full picnic experience,
I
really.
didn't. I
Like
didn't get a
you got
chance
to
to
kind of.
celebrate with you guys at 9 o'clock at night. Is that what
Didn't quite go that late, but that's Christina's worry is that it just goes on and on and on so long. We end up eating in the dark. Everyone's starving.
Oh, she mentioned that. She's like, I'm always so like, I don't know when I invite somebody, do I tell them we probably won't be eating until 9 o'clock at night? But if they know Chris, they know they'll probably be eating at like 9 o'clock at night. All right, let's get into it. After I did that, let me tell you what I did, people. Hola, hola, Adriana aquí with Fuerte Fitness and being fuerte. And I have to tell you, I spent a lot of time being fuerte on this guy's birthday. We, I just got invited, I think the day before by Michelle. And I checked in with Andrew, like, okay, timing wise, around what time? Oh, okay, 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Oh, I'll probably be done by then. That sounds great. Well, it was like a 9 mile hike and like a 34 mile bike ride. I mean, I had to stop at 34 and I was running late for my date. And his wife had to come and rescue me. And I was like, I gotta interview this guy because there was a lot of us. How many people were in the group?
Well, that's the fun piece is that people are invited all over. And, often we do the swim in the morning beforehand as well. And so not everyone does the swim and not everyone does the hike. And like, as you experienced, you just did a portion of the hike. And the idea really is it's about doing hard stuff together, but it's also about that opportunity for community. We'll get into it, but there's a ton of neuroscience that's involved in just going and doing something that I want to do on my birthday. But it significantly ties in to, one of my biggest beliefs that I bring into my executive coaching and my leadership expeditions is that we can do a lot more than we think we can,
You just gotta push yourself.
which is part of being Fuerte, isn't it?
Exactly. I was just impressed because I don't think I worked that hard in a while.
Right on.
And I had to hurry up. But towards the end, I was like, am I going to make it? I'm kind of nervous here. We should probably pick up the pace. Michelle had a e-bike. So she's like, you go as fast as you feel like you need to. And I was like, okay.
So as a result of you going as fast as you need to and her being on the e-bike, did you guys put Andrew in a little bit of hurt? Like that would be
We sent him ahead. I was
uh
like, Andrew, you said we are going to be done around like 3:30 or so. You better, he volunteered to go ahead. And then I seen him at the end. I had been like biking as fast as I could on that road, dirt bike. I don't ride a lot on gravel. So that was really
okay.
good. And he was at the end, like, I just called Christina. Why rush this? And Chris's wife, who came and rescued us and took me to my car, and I made it on my date. So thank you very much. And now processing it afterwards, I was like, what the hell? How did you start to celebrate your birthday like this? Because I think I'm crazy. And then I meet you, and I was like, oh, he does it every year? This is the picnic? Wait a minute. Tell
Well,
the story.
I think that's a great place to start. And that's the picnic, our on my 50th birthday. It was right after I retired from the military. So I played Army for 30 years. I was a Green Beret. I did hard things. I still wanted to do hard things. Uh, I am really celebrating my first birthday now being established in Washington or in the Pacific Northwest. And a friend of mine told me about the picnic. And
Mhm.
the picnic originated in Wyoming in the Grand Tetons. And it's uh, in 2012, a guy named David Gonzalez
Mhm.
kind of put together this idea where you ride 23 miles from Jackson to Jenny Lake, and then you swim Jenny Lake, and then you hike and climb the Grand Teton. You have a picnic up on top, and then you climb back down, you swim back,
Uh-huh.
ride back. And so we did this for my 50th birthday. I invited about 10 people. Only one friend showed up. So Bridget gets a big shout out for being, you know,
The
my
brave.
tough friend that came out. And afterwards I decided, I really want to do this every year for my birthday. I just think the opportunity to bring friends together and you don't like you experienced, you
Mhm.
don't have to do all of it. You can
No.
do parts of it. And so it becomes it becomes a community experience. This year, the swim was in Lake Cochise. So, uh,
Mhm.
what equated to about a 3 kilometer swim, and then a bike ride up to the trailhead, a hike up to Rachel Lake, and then from Rachel Lake up to the summit, of Alta Mountain, which is a spectacular mountain. The hike to Rachel is a great hike. And so we had, 12 people at the trailhead to start the hike, which is super cool, which is neat because I think that not the whole crew wanted to really go to the top of Alta, but Rachel Lake is such a fabulous hike, so it allowed for that break. And people could head down like you guys from that point. And you could even do the bike if you wanted to, or you could call it a day. The biggest idea, though, is that from that group experience, you got a whole bunch of different neurochemicals going on there. Of course, you got dopamine, like that thrill of doing something hard and getting to the lake or completing the ride. But you also have the just the scenery, which gives you a big shot of serotonin.
I was gonna say
And
orphan.
that group like doing something with your wife and your daughter and doing stuff with the people you love. And, Andrew and I bike raced together at West Point, back in the 90s. So it's super cool to go and do hard things with him. Michael Warner always shows up, and does all these kind of hard things with me. So it's fun to be able to then attach oxytocin, this group of people you love.
Mhm.
So serotonin, the view, and that dopamine, all those neurochemicals form a cocktail that really push the idea of possibilities. It's a great reflective event. It's an opportunity to do something really hard, uh, but
You're
also kind of get into flow.
mhm.
And And so there's not only this benefit of going and doing something hard and then building resilience and strength and kind of circumnavigating the edges of what's possible. The whole idea of the picnic is kind of well, I've learned about this idea. It's a ancient Japanese ritual of renewal called misogi. So it's a Misogi event because there's a chance that, well, if you're doing the whole thing, there's a chance that you can't actually do it all because
Right.
it's
I
so
mean, it's a
hard.
push. It is a push.
Yeah. And you're out there and like the swim, for me, I was not a very good swimmer.
Mhm.
but now I swim open water a lot in the summertime. Rattlesnake Lake becomes my pool. And
What is
and I'm not fast, but I'm a pretty good swimmer. But but it is that like pushing it three, four, one picnic we had a 5 kilometer swim. Like, can I do a 5 kilometer swim and then still a 30-mile hike and a bike afterward? I don't know. Like, or actually we did the bike first to a 5 kilometer swim.
next level?
But it's the idea of doing something for yourself that's super hard that creates possibilities.
Yeah. Like you get to have another birthday and you get to celebrate with your friends. I met a lot of your cool people. I was like, I love you. I don't know who it was that paddle boards and camps and hikes and
Yeah, Joel and
I
yeah,
was just
just
like,
like
oh,
the whole
I just
crowd of
all
everybody.
these people. I was like, these are like my people, but I've never met them before.
I love Joel and I did Adventure Racing together. We were talking the other day, and I was recounting like the time I hiked across the Olympics and Joel picked me up, or the time I did this and Joel was there for me. Like, it's super cool. The people that will come and show up at a picnic with you,
Uh-huh.
those are good friends.
Those are good friends. And Michelle, who I
Yeah.
know very well, dropped you off when
I
we all did the J section of the.
Of the PCT, yep, section J of the PCT. Yeah, I mean and just the fact that Michelle is cool with Andrew disappearing for he Andrew skied with me the last 2 years in Norway and big backcountry trips. And she's, not only okay with it, she's like enthusiastic for him
I
about it.
mean,
That's
you
so cool.
you fill your cup, you come back different. There's a happiness, a joy that you find in doing all those things. So when you talk about all of those chemicals in your brain and then you bring community into it as well, I mean, it serves so many purposes. And the fact that you celebrate on your birthday and and people coming from all over, what was the further?
So Joel came from Wenatchee.
Mhm.
Uh, I had a friend who lives in Florida that wanted to come. She just got last second business where she had to go up to New York, so she couldn't come. But um, yeah, now it's a big enough deal, and I've done it because I consistently do it. My people
Yes, they plan.
know it's going to happen the Saturday in vicinity of my birthday, so it's going to happen, and it's going to be amazing. So. And it might be just too much, but that's okay. We'll figure out a way to
Exactly.
get you down real
I felt
quickly. And
so good doing the hike and just, the 34 miles. I really did I felt proud of myself, right? I was just
right
like,
on.
oh, I love that. I need a little bit more of that in my life. And I've been hiking ever since. Well, biking for that 84 miles and then do
Yeah.
like crazy in a different way. But the fact that you celebrated your birthday like that and then you have a good crew that, comes with you that does that as well. And then when we were talking on the phone the other day, you were talking about how there was something that you read, the comfort crisis, right? And you
Yeah.
associated that so well with, yes, there's so many things. Like over my podcast, I talk about rites of passage and different things that like push you, but like you come out the other side a different person, right? And we don't have a ton of that anymore. You talked about
Well,
your
and in fact, that's a big piece of what Michael Easter's talking about in the book is that as humans, we had to hunt in order to live or do physically hard things in order to just survive. We don't really need to. In fact, most of us live our lives at 72 degrees because if it gets warm, we just turn on the AC. If it gets cold, we turn up the heat. We never miss a meal. Like the idea of missing a meal is that there's drama around that. And there's goodness for our brain. There's goodness for our body. There's goodness for our spirit. It's not just creating life momentum. There's goodness to
struggling.
working so hard that and maybe missing a meal. Like when you're going and doing this, I have snacks along, but you're gonna on on a picnic, you're gonna burn 5, 6,000 calories, and you're gonna replace maybe 2,000, and that meal at the end might be another 2,000, but you still might be in debt, 2 or 3,000 calories.
Right.
There's goodness to that.
Yes.
And we don't experience that enough.
Mhm.
And I think that that's where when we're thinking about happiness, I think that I think that happiness is an equation that talks about relationships and it talks about life meaning. Arthur Brooks, he even uses that math equation. Arthur Brooks is he teaches happiness at Harvard for Harvard Business School and for the Kennedy Center. He talks about happiness being relationships plus meaning.
Right.
Um,
And
and
live longer.
I I think if we go and we create opportunities to get out, and whether it's just for you, it's for someone, if it's just your 84-mile bike ride, and really having a question, well, can I really do this? Like uh,
Yes.
that, all that is it's good for the soul, it's good for your brain, it's good for your body. It I think is a big piece that helps our own mental place, our own mental health.
And sometimes we're missing that. I mean,
Well, I think
we
a lot of us are.
we we miss out on those things that challenge us, and like we have no purpose in so many ways, right? I mean, I
Right.
I walked a lot with your daughter, so I was asking her
Yeah,
like
very cool.
in her being being your daughter and being out in the wilderness as much, and she was like, I did it younger and I got out of it for a while and then I came back to it, and now I'm the fitter one in my college friend group, right?
Oh,
And
of
she takes
course.
them out and does different things. And you'd mentioned she was just talking about how you're out of it and then you come back into it and you just appreciate it so much more. And it's so good, like for depression. We have an anxiety filled generation coming up now because of the way we're so tied to our computer, which is the phone.
Mhm.
Right. It's so hard to be unplugged for a lot of the time. And
Mhm.
just being able to do that is so relieving for me, being in nature and being unplugged. I have no reception, so there's no way I can get a hold of anybody or
Mhm.
anybody can get a hold of me. But I don't know if we do that anymore or enough because we are so tied to those aspects of comfort.
And all of that comfort again starts cutting away at that sense of meaning,
Mhm.
that
Mhm.
sense of feeling like you're doing as much as you could.
Mhm.
You're achieving, you're helping, all of it. I think that I take I take executives. I have a trip coming up in Montana. We just completed one in Spain.
Mhm.
The one in Montana, on right away on day one, we step off of the ability to get cell phone coverage. And so for the next 4 days, your phone is a camera because it's not capable of bringing the latest news or your emails or your text or you know uh, and and it's about the 30-hour period that people start feeling a little bit differently because they haven't been bugged by all these other things that are going on in the world, and they're become much more present in the spot that they're in.
Right. So tell me how you got to do this for your career now. You were in the military or
So yeah,
I
I
think I'm
a-
difficult.
as a Green Beret, as the person that kind of did those things, I was around 2010, I was sitting in one of our training sites uh, in Gao, Mali. Gao is a city along the Niger River in northern Mali, and I was sitting outside drinking a hot bottle of water because it was 120 degrees, and I was thinking to myself, in my someday life, two things are going to happen. Number one is in that someday life, I'm going to live in a cold, wet, rainy place. So I live in North Bend, Washington. So I've achieved number one. And number two, I want my career to be the person that I need right now. I need someone to bounce ideas off. I need a thought partner. I need someone who can walk alongside of me. And it'd be really cool if I could do that, not in a boardroom,
Hmm.
but on a hike or on a bike ride or uh, a kayak paddle or you get the idea. Like
Yeah.
if I could do those things in those places, it opens up the greater possibilities. It opens up the potential of things to be greater perspective, and be able to then from that perspective be able to take action and commit to that action becomes a ton easier than if you're sitting at your desk and we're talking on Zoom and you've got your phone going off, you got Slacks coming up, you got so many other things going on. It's tougher to be present.
Yeah.
What I love about coaching on a hike or a bike ride is that if my client is thinking too much about it, or is I can tell they're stressing over the conversation a little bit,
Mhm.
I can turn up the pace of the hike a little bit, which then maybe gives a little shot of adrenaline, or it just gives a little bit more discomfort. They're in that spot of maybe thinking about too many adjectives, and they start just saying what's on their mind,
Mhm.
and we can get to being real maybe a little bit faster.
Oh, yeah.
Or even if we're climbing a steep grade and we're huffing and puffing, uh, there's no need to immediately answer me. If we're on a Zoom, it's weird if I would pause for 30 seconds, but on a hike, it's not a big deal.
Right. And how many people do you take up, or how does that work?
Usually all those are one-on-ones. When I do the expeditions, we try to keep the teams at 4 to 5 people, and then we have several teams like the in in Montana in September, my friend Patty Collins will be leading one group and I'll be leading the other group.
Mhm.
Patty is a retired special operator. She's not only was she a female special operator, which makes her a little bit of a unicorn. She also competed in Rio de Janeiro in the Paralympic Games
Oh, wow.
because she's an amputee. And the fact that she's doing the hike with a prosthetic, well, there's just a magic to that because
Oh,
if Patty's giggling and laughing right now, and I'm worried about the clients feeling a little bit stressed or a little bit too hard, and then Patty's making fun of the situation or just kind of being, I know that it's all right because the clients, if Patty can just be laughing about it,
yeah.
they
What's your?
can do it too. They can do it too.
I love that. And then you do this how often? And it's only coaching
A couple times a year.
a couple times a year?
Yeah. Like the Montana Traverse we do twice a year and we're starting to do one international. Um, it's a lot of planning. It's a lot of backside work. So as a result, I kind of keep it down to that. I don't want to scale it any further that I don't
Mhm.
participate in them and I just have it I mass produce it because I want it. This is the thing that I wanted to do. I want to be part of it. I don't want to just manage. I want to be doing the thing. And so it means it stays smaller and maybe it's a little bit more niche but it's good.
That's so great. I mean,
Yeah.
that's enough. And
And it's enough. That's the word I wanted to say there. It's enough.
you know, you don't
Yeah.
have to. Here's the beautiful thing. Sometimes I don't feel like I'm working. I mean, I'm training, I'm talking to people, I'm encouraging them, I'm pushing them, I'm doing all these things, but I'm listening to their excuses. I'm not getting drawn to their excuses for moving forward. But I mean, I don't feel like I'm working half the
Right.
time.
Right.
And I love even being here because I'm thinking you're going to exercise your brain here as well and create some space because you do create the health and whatever you end up taking on and you end up loving it. I have to get people going right away into something like conditioning or running or whatever. And I'm like, the reason why I do that is because it's right outside your door. There's no
Right.
excuse. Your
Right.
weight is your
Right.
body. I don't want you to be limited. I want you to be able to do whatever you want to do when you want to do it, not because am I scared? Can I do that? Or maybe you are scared, but you know that you can push through it and you can take your time and you can have fun doing it at the same time.
Mhm. Well, if we follow that idea of Misogi, it's like a 50% chance that maybe I can't really do it right now, but I'm doing it in a safe enough environment. I'm not going to die. I'm just going to not be successful right now, but that's okay because that too is a sense of renewal.
It is. You're right. I had my daughter with me on Saturday and I took her up to Rattlesnake Ridge. And she's been a while since she's done a 4 or 5 mile hike.
Hmm.
And I had three of her other friends as well. And one of them's really conditioned. They go out with their parents all the time. But Sophia, my daughter, was having a hard time. She was like, Mom, I don't know if I can do this. And I said, you know what? Okay, tell you what, we'll go up another quarter of the mile. But here we are. I showed her where we are in the hike. We're almost there. And if you want to turn around, and all of our friends are like, no, no, then you can decide. But this is the deal. I hear you. This is hard, but I also know you can do it. So we go on, and she's encouraged. Her friends are pushing her, are pulling her, are carrying her a couple times, and she did it. And we went to the top. I mean, that was it. She was smiling, and
And that view is
the
awesome.
view is so
That
beautiful with
view.
that
Yeah.
lake on the bottom. And then we hiked down and swam it. We jumped, took our shoes
Right.
off,
Perfect.
jumped on in, and had a great time. And they forgot about how hard the hike was because they
Mhm.
were having so much fun in the water that felt so amazing to swim out in those cut logs, right? They're so, they're not thorny or anything. You can actually jump on them and jump off.
Yeah. Yeah. You can now with the lake coming down a little bit, a lot of them you can just stand on, but they're still underneath the water. So you
It's
can
underneath the
look
water.
like you're walking on
It was
water.
so amazing. And the water was like greenish blue.
Yeah.
It
Yep.
looked really beautiful from the top.
Hmm.
Again, it's just these amazing places that you wouldn't get to if you don't hike or walk there or
Hmm.
yourself. And then it's like imagine how much of your brain you're not utilizing if you don't push yourself in that space too, right? It doesn't get as much. You can't
And
quite.
how much benefit you're missing out on
Mm.
of that greater confidence in yourself or that greater resilience, that future time when something really hard happens, but you know that you can do hard things because you now made it to Rattlesnake, but you told your mom that you wanted to do it again and you did it three or four more times and suddenly it's not even a big deal and you want to go and do something bigger.
And nobody or nothing can build that kind of confidence except
Mm-mm.
like you purposely, intentionally making those decisions. So
100%.
that's awesome. Well, thanks for hopping on here and having
Right
this
on.
conversation. I'm going to ask you you kind of already answered it, but I want to hear it. What does fuerte mean to you? What does?
It means being strong, but now having do this, I mean, being fuerte means doing more than you think you can.
Mhm. That is so true. Thank you so much, Chris. I totally
Right on.
appreciate it. Have a great day.